Here is the problem. I want to run some wires through this door jamb, but I've got these Molex connectors. That's what these are called, these pre-plumb connectors, which pretty much fill, for the most part, most of these little spots in this harness. A few choices you could do. You could try to repin it and have it disconnectable, which is going to be a challenge, especially on these brand new vehicles, because the parts are seldomly even available for them yet. Ask me how I know. And let me show you another option. Now I have 4 leads I gotta get through here. I got power and ground, and I have this shielded cable, so I can run this through one hole, so that'll count as one, but a larger one. And these two, I think I can get through there with maybe an 18 or a 16 gauge hole. I'll have to see how that'll relate to the size of a drill bit. And I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna open these two here side by side, then I'm gonna just take the drill and nudge it side by side to make that hole a double. And over here, I'm gonna do a single large hole for this larger shielded cable. Now on the other side, I'll simply unplug here, do the exact same thing, and then I'll put the two together and then drill straight through both at the same time. Why I'm doing it 3 different times is because you don't want to risk taking one drill, going through and getting a little weird, and God knows what can happen. Another important thing about when you're doing drilling on a Molex connector is this. Always disconnect your battery. Disconnect both, just to be sure. These new vehicles with these CAN bus systems are a hell of a nightmare. If you mess something up and you have to go to the dealer, you don't want to be in that position, believe me. Here's my trusty drill. Time to get drilling. There's my first part of the drilling process done and completed. You can see I'm not interfering with anything, nor am I obstructing any clips. That's going to be important when this plug gets plugged back into the Molex connector to make a snug connection. Now we'll do the other side here. So now you can see I've done the drilling on the other side, the door side of the plug. Pretty important, take either a real hard breath and blow all this crap out of here, or use an air compressor. Make sure that there's no plastic remnants in there, because that'll obstruct a connection or a fitment issue in the future. So make sure your connections are super clean, just like they were before you did anything. And we'll test it out and see how everything fits in there. So if everything goes well, it should work like this. You should feed your wires through your little plug there. It should be nice and snug and go right through there. So I can actually reuse this Molex connector, put it all back to stock, run it through the boot and over there where it's got to be, tucked away nice and safe and secure. I will lose the functionality of the Molex connector the way it's supposed to work by factory stock conditions. However, I will leave slack inside the jamb, so that way if I have to ever pull this door off for a body work or something like that, that option will be available to the person who has to do that job. And that's the best you could ever hope for. So that's how you do it right there. So here's the last and final part of running my cables through my harness. All right, so they're in there. I just have this piece of wire, and you see I fed that through this grommet. So I'm gonna take my wires onto this side and just basically go on the bottom, pull them straight out. Then I can put my boot back on the bottom, on the top, and put it back to stock. Just that easy. That's how you do it, folks.